Welcome to my channel and to another video. Today I have a review which I've been looking forward to now for at least a couple of weeks. I placed an order for quite a popular homage and it's arrived yesterday and I cannot wait to review it. On that note, let's get started. So as the video states, this is a Heimdallr 62 Mas homage review. I know there are a few reviews out on YouTube. Maybe I can add something different. So let's get straight into it. Packaging. This arrived in a packed box in this case that in the last couple of homages I've had in this case. And like I mentioned in another video, I don't actually mind these cases. I think they're really nice, sturdy, solid cases. The first point I want to make on the packaging is, see that yellow logo, X Tools? I think they should have put their own logo on there. Now, Heimdallr, I know a few people have heard of this brand now. And just for brand recognition, this is like a generic sort of label. And I think they really should have put the Heimdallr logo in the middle. Maybe in silver like it is on the watches. And I think as a brand, they probably are at that stage of recognizing themselves sort of as a brand. If they had done that, it would give added value to the watch and to the box. Opening the box, we find the watch. The watch was wrapped in this bubble wrap here, and it also contained a sort of warranty card for the watch. So a quick look. So Jason, I'm not going to try and say his last name. 1 year guarantee on the watch. I don't know how they will honor that, but they've given it. So hopefully anything does go wrong, I can contact them. That's the packaging. Moving on to the watch, the best part. I'm not one of those guys that can do reveals, to be honest. For me, as soon as I get a watch, I have to open it there and then, have a look at it, and that's just me. But I think a benefit to that is, normally if you can open a watch and you really like it, you can make a review straight away, and you actually might miss things, So I think if you wait a day or two, you get a chance to look at it yourself, and then you can give a better review on the watch. So first thing that you do notice is this really sharp, solid, bold design on the watch. It's extremely masculine. It looks well built, really crisp, strong lines. Oh, by the way, I hope you have noticed my Michael Jackson homage gloves. I had a comment from someone saying that the fingerprints on some of the watches was so visible that forensics could take a print from just the video. So I took that advice, invested in some gloves. Yeah, on the watch, bracelet looks really solid. Chunky links. A quick overview of the specs. So a few of you might know this watch comes with the NH35 movement with a quick date adjust. It's also got a sapphire glass and a ceramic bezel. For me, this is becoming the magic trilogy, magic threesome on a watch. If you can get a watch from China with a Seiko NH35 36 movement, maybe even a Miyota, with sapphire and ceramic, you know what, you can't go wrong. That's my opinion. Moving on to the dial, let's add a little zoom. The first thing that you do notice is the dial. Beautiful sunburst green. Really, like I said, really strong, crisp lines. The dial has the Heimdallr logo, which is a shark. I really like this logo. I think they did really well choosing this logo. Without putting any words on the top. Just a really beautiful logo. At the bottom it says automatic dive was 300 meters. And on the dial you've got this nice date window with a silver insert. No chapter ring, but the chapter markers are on the outside of the dial. Really crisp, clear, sharp bezel. The bezel doesn't come with a loomed option on the numbers. It does have a loomed pip. Nice edges to the bezel. It is a very, I keep using the word crisp, it's a very clean and sharp watch. I think it just looks really well built. The width of the case is 41 millimeters, which is found on the site, and I've confirmed it with my own measurements. Case thickness 14 mil. So let's look at the case a bit closer. On the edges, you've got a very high shine polish, and on the top of the case, you've got I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see swirled brushing, and on the bracelet you've got straight linear brushing. Initially, I was meant to buy this watch a lot quicker than I actually did. The only reason that I didn't buy this watch is I think it was the pictures on the site. I don't know if I mentioned I bought this from Aliexpress, and it was in the similar price range to the Proxima I've bought, and a bit more expensive than the Steel Dive. Now, as I was saying, in the pictures it looks really long. It looks quite big for a watch, so I've only got a 6.5 inch wrist, so I didn't buy that. I didn't buy this because of that reason. However, when I received it, it's not as big as it looks. Like I said, it's only 41 mil across, and I've got baby monsters which are bigger, and they seem to fit fine. The length of the actual case is roughly 50 millimeters, which isn't too long, and the distance between the lugs is a 20 mil bracelet. Looking around the case, you'll see they've got a signed crown. Beautiful, lovely texture. So on the crown you can see the actual logo is shiny, and the sides you've got a matte finish. Now I don't know if you can look, see here, one defect there, the finishing isn't perfect, and you can only see it because I've got it this close up, but you really wouldn't actually notice that if you're wearing the watch. So on the actual case, you've also got drill lugs, solid endings on the end of the bracelet. Now, something with these drill lugs, they don't have those fat spring bars, and it's got a different system which I haven't come across on a watch. So it's got these mushroom type pins where you've got to push in from one side, and the other end of the pin is slightly thicker, so that's what holds it in. So what I would do, a word of caution, when you do open it or push the actual pin through, is find the hole which has got the smaller sort of end in it. So for this hole I'd push in there, and this one I'd push on this side, and use your link removal tool, push it all the way through, and you'll see like a mushroom end come out, and you can just slide it out, remove your bracelet. But removing the bracelet, the only thing which you can put on is a flat or straight end bracelet, rubber strap or leather strap. You can't put anything with a curved end, because your normal curved ends curve on the inside. So I don't know if that's concave or convex, either one. And this end, you can see it curves outwards and not inwards like a crescent. So yeah, because I'd done the bracelet, I wanted to try straight away, but so okay. Bracelet wise, I do sort of knock them down, these homages, on the actual quality of the bracelet. This one's really good. It's really nice. It's got a high quality brushing on there, shine on the side, curved. and it doesn't look or feel cheap. It hasn't got that rattle that I've seen on the steel dive. Clasp, this is my favorite part of the bracelet. It's got Heimdallr written there. Nice. Probably could have engraved it a bit deeper, give it a better finish, or just put the logo of the shark. Open the clasp and you've got this milled clasp. I like this. I really do. Like I said, it's away from those other sort of darker grey steel clasp that you see on the cheaper bracelets, which is just a massive shout out. Hey, look, I'm cheap. This is really nice. And on the back of the case there, you see this logo. I really like this logo. And then this logo is actually different on some of them, where the shark is in 3D and it pops out. One thing I would say, when you use your fingers and you go over the logo, it does feel a bit edgy, slightly sharp. Not sharp enough to cause irritation or uncomfortableness, because when I did wear it on my wrist, it was fine. But it just has a slight sharp feeling. Could do with a slight polish before they ship it out. Screw down case back, screw down crown. Just confirm that for you. Yeah, these gloves don't really fit that well. The movement NH35 is a hand winding hacking movement. Click out once for the date adjust, click out again for the time adjust. Screw it back down. Nice crown. Nice watch. Suck the bezel. I believe it's a 120 click bezel. And it is a proper click. You can hear that. It sounds better in real life. I know on my way on the video it doesn't sound the best, but yeah, no backplay at all. Oh, I've missed it. You know, I got this OCD. I have to line it right up, otherwise I can't sleep. Yeah, there we go. Colorway options. So the watch comes in 3 different dial colors. It's got this sunburst green, it comes with a sunburst blue, and it comes with a black. Now I don't know if the black is sunburst or matte, you can't tell in the pictures. And I chose this, and I'm lucky I did, and I am actually really happy that I did, because you can see the blue AR coated sapphire, and I believe it just complements that green really, really nicely. And you know, and like, if you just look at the watch, when you catch a glance, that looks absolutely beautiful. And because it is a large dial, it's not too busy, it's quite clean. You can really appreciate the color. The Lume, nice thick buttons, wide. You know, you can't miss that, can you? You're always going to be able to tell the time really clearly. Really striking buttons. So, should we try a Lume shot? Okay, let's try a Lume shot. Bam, check that out. It's so bright that the camera, it's just glaring in the camera. It looks white, but I assure you it isn't. It is this lovely green, big solid blocks, and you can't miss it. Hang on, let me see if the camera can get it for you. It's probably the closest I'm going to get to a green. Well, I've noticed these cameras, they can't really focus on this for some reason. Come on. But yeah, really nice, lovely Lume. Simple as well, effective, chunky. So that was the Lume shot. Homage, yes, it's a homage of the 62 mass. Now, I know there is another company called San Martin. They do a homages of the 6.2 mask as well. And I have to say, uh, as far as homage goes, the closest one, I believe, it would have to be the San Martin, just on looks and the dial. I think the dial looks slightly flatter, and it's most like the 62 mask in my opinion. Whereas this isn't as much as the San Martin. Personally, I prefer this one. I actually do prefer this one. So I thought I'd just make a point of that. So to summarize, hopefully I haven't missed anything. To summarize, overall, really beautiful watch. And I don't know if you'll agree with me. Watches, you can compare them to cars quite a bit. You know, movements, engines, just sort of prices, and I think the best way to explain to someone about what watches are, quartz, autos, use the car analogy. Now, if I were to use the car analogy on this, I'd say this is if a car company did a homage to a older car, if that makes sense. So as you know, a lot of the newer cars are quite curvaceous, quite futuristic, etc. Whereas the older cars, maybe American, and even the British UK cars, Ford Cortinas, etc. They had very straight lines, straight edges. So this is one of those watches, you know, sitting there, it has to catch your eye with that beautiful sunburst dial, eye catching, and then the straight lines of the watch. I think with the NH35 movement, you'll have no problems. I've got most of my collection is Seikos, mostly are NH35, or the same, and you're looking at anywhere between 2 to 8 seconds a day. I haven't measured this yet. I only got it yesterday, so I will actually measure this. And the way I measure it, I've got this app which you just measure it against the atomic clock a couple of times a day, and it gives you an overall average of what it is running. Weight, it's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough, and it's balanced. So what I saw on the other one, so whereas especially on the Steel Dive and the Proxima, the weight was in the middle of the watch, and because the bracelet wasn't the same weight, it was a lot lighter. It does seem off balance. So when you wear it on the wrist, your weight is in the center. Whereas this one, number one, just because of the length of the case, it is spread out, and the bracelet, because that's slightly weighty as well, the weight is spread out over your wrist, and it isn't that thick. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. It should pop up in one of the corners, and don't forget to check out my other videos, and thanks again for watching. Please leave any comments, any suggestions, any questions, or whatever you like in the comment section. Thank you.